Good afternoon and a warm welcome to all the participants. At the outset, let me thank all the participants for taking out time and attending this webinar. We will be starting shortly. In the meantime, let me share with you how you can benefit the most out of this webinar. The success of this webinar depends on your understanding of the information we are going to share with you today. Therefore, please do feel free to ask your questions. You can ask question via ask question or via chat as per your convenience. We will be having a question answer round at the end of the webinar and we will try to answer all your questions. However, still if you feel that you haven't got a satisfactory answer or you need more details, then please feel free to connect with us offline. The recording of this session will be shared with all the participants, so there's no need to take notes. However, you can keep pen and paper handy to note down your questions, which you can ask either during the session or at the end of the session in the question answer round. One last thing, you may have heard that your network is your net worth. And here you have a wonderful opportunity to network with other business owners. So please don't be shy. Start sharing your business detail and what product and services you offer via chat with other business owners who are participating in this webinar. Again, we will be starting shortly. Jeff Bezos once said, "It is hard to find things that won't sell online." Whether you are a retailer, exporter, manufacturer, or service provider, your business needs its own e-commerce website to allow you to sell online. Indeed, e-commerce is thriving in the new normal. In 2021, e-commerce sales are likely to rise by 45% in India. But it's not enough just to have an e-commerce store. You need digital marketing to promote your e-store. Digital marketing refers to all the marketing activities that are carried through electronic devices or internet. Today, we are sharing 5 result-oriented digital marketing strategies to attract more customers and increase sale. No complicated jargon, no unnecessary gyan, just 5 easy to implement tactics that will help you grow your business. So let's get started. Before proceeding ahead, let's have a quick introduction of the presenters today. First, let me share information about my colleague Malvika. She is Associate Director and Global Inker, has about a decade's experience and has helped hundreds of business owners in setting up digital presence. Moving on to myself, my name is Adnan and I'm an e-commerce specialist at Global Inker. I have 1.5 decades of experience, and at Global Inker, I managed Linker.store, the DIY e-store builder, and other strategic e-commerce initiatives in India and Philippines. The topics that we'll be discussing today: creating banners and posts, integrating social media with e-store, running ads on Facebook, Instagram, and Google, discount and scheme creation, basic SEO practices to follow, and finally, question and answer round. So let's get started with the first topic today, and that is creating banners and posts. And I hope everyone has settled in. So keep your pen and paper handy and keep noting down your questions. And as I mentioned earlier, please do feel free to ask your question, and you can ask your question via ask question section, which you are seeing right in front of your screen, or you can also chat your question. And as you can already see in the timeline, that we'll be doing a question answer round at the end of the session. So we'll try to answer all your questions and queries there. So let's move on to the first topic, and that is creating banners and posts. Now, you might be wondering, we are discussing about digital marketing, and how come creating banners and posts, which is more of a user experience topic, has become a part of it. Now, let me share with you that every day our senses are overloaded with images on our social media feed, YouTube videos, etc., that we watch, websites that we visit, or even the billboards that dot the skyline. With so many visual competing for attention, how can you ensure that your products and services stand out? The answer is simple: stunning pictures. However, when you think about it, we have seen most of the brands come alive just by using the right image on their website and social media post. You are going to want to make sure you are using compelling and consistent picture across all touch points, and that's important: touch points. This is key to capturing attention and conveying your brand story. And here we go ahead, and I'll start sharing the first step, and that is creating the mood board. Now, what is a mood board? So, before we go on to discuss that, let's understand a little background about it. And most people directly, what they do is, if they have to create a marketing material or a website or their advertising campaign, what most people do is they directly start looking for nice looking images and plug into their website, social media posts, etc. Over time, what will happen is that it won't work, and their page or their site or their even entire brand or website as such will start looking haphazard and inconsistent, which will further confuse the customer and make it difficult for them to understand what does this particular brand stands for. And that's where mood board come into play. Excuse me. Excuse me just for a minute. My apologies. I forgot to push this live. I'll just take a moment to. My apologies for the interruption. So I have explained that it is important to have that consistency in the brand or in the marketing message that you are presenting in front of the customer, so that customers can understand what the brand stands for. And that's where creating a mood board becomes important. Now, how can you create a mood board, or what is a mood board? Now, mood board is simply put is a collage or collection of physical or digital images, text, shape, fonts, etc. It is like a visual board of everything and anything relates to your end goal, and you can create a mood board by different things, websites, brochures, campaigns, etc. So you can have a mood board for everything. And here is one example of a mood board. Now, why or creating a mood board is valuable for your business? Because first, it provides inspiration. So mood board help you focus on what is important for your business, the vision, mission, identity, and emotions you want to convey. It is good to have a visual reminder of what you stand and what you started. Second is affirmation. Mood board helps assert visually your brand, emotion, values, and culture into tangible things like design and word. And thirdly, guidance. It becomes the guiding light when you create your marketing and communication collaterals. What should be included in the mood board? Images, obviously, colors, so your color platter, text, so collection of fonts, styles, sizes that conveys the mood. Something fancy can be said with Lucinda, and calligraphy can be used for more formal use. Patterns and shapes, and finally words, single or inspirational quotes which eventually focus on word and emotion that you want to reiterate in your communication. So inspirations or quotes that aligns and resonates with your brand, so that can be included in your mood board. Moving on to the second step, finding the right images. Now, when it comes to finding the right images, you have that option that you can start creating the wheel again, and you can start with getting a custom photo shoot done. Now, for many of the businesses, that is an easier activity, and many of the businesses may prefer doing that. However, it is an expensive as well as a time consuming affair. So that's where you can opt for a cheaper and quicker option, that is the stock images which are available online. So obviously, why it is or finding stock images is cheap, easy, and quick. Now, what are the platforms which are available which you can use to or from where you can get? So there are a host of free platforms which are available, and you can take the advantages of these platforms for getting the right images for your marketing material. And some of these platforms are Pixabay, Pixels, Unsplash, Free Image, and Free Pick. Now, the downside of these free image platform is sometimes that you'll not get the right image there. So that's where you'll have to go to a another platform, or you can consider opting for a licensed online platform like Shutterstock, which has a collection of more than 240 million loyalty photographs and images, musics, and videos. And an exclusive offer is also available for Global Linker members, wherein they can use this particular code which you are seeing on the screen, and you will get exclusive 10% discount on already competitive prices being offered by Shutterstock. So that was about finding the right images, which are the free platforms which are available, where you can go and you can see the images. If you're not finding the right image there, or that goes with your mood board, in that case, you can consider also exploring the paid platform Shutterstock, where you'll get licensed images for your marketing campaign. Now, the third step is choosing the right imagery. Using your mood board, start looking for images that fit your brand. When choosing an image, make sure you answer the following questions. And what are these questions? Does your image resonate with your target audience? Are the images consistent with your image board or mood board? Are the image royalty free, or have you given credit where it is due? Does the image stand out? Is it an image everyone is using? So you'll find a lot of images these days which is being used by almost every other brand or other platform, so that can also dilute your brand's positioning. Does image convey the emotion or the story that you want to convey? Is it in the right size? Is it in the right resolution, or is it getting pixelated? So you have to answer all those questions. Now here is one example which is an ideal image for a brand that is about family dynamics, future protection, integrity, etc. Whereas this is an image which is an ideal for a brand that is about being fun, youthful, energetic, experimental, etc. So that's how you can choose the right images, by answering or keeping in consideration these questions. Moving on to the step 4, that is the best design tool. Now, you have created the mood board, or you have selected the images from the different platform. You have also identified what is the right image. Now, you'll have to create a marketing material, or if Facebook post or a Instagram post. Now, you'll need a tool to edit that image. So how will you be able to do that? So that's where there are a number of tools which are available. I'm not including the paid ones or the free ones which are available, so I'm just sharing the information about those. So when you want to design a social media post, website banner, presentation flyer, email banner, advertising logo, etc., and anything and everything else, you'll need a design tool. Now, what are the most common or popular design tool? Canva is one such design tool, although they have a paid version, but the free version itself is very powerful, and you'll be able to do most of the activities related to creating your brand's social media posts or marketing material very easily on Canva. They also have a huge collection of templates available which you can utilize. The second is the Gravit design, which you can utilize. Third is GIMP, which is equivalent to Photoshop, but a open source free version which is available. And finally is the SME Design Services, which is available for you to utilize. It's a global Inker offering which is available, and using which you'll be able to get your brand's logo design in just 2,499 rupees, and an entire corporate identity package in 9999. So that's where professionals will take care of your design requirement, and they'll deliver the desired results. So that's another service which is available, which you can consider utilizing. Moving on to the next topic in our discussion list today, that is integration with your social media platforms with your e-store. Now, in today's context, I don't have to explain. It is obvious, and everyone understands the power and importance of social media platforms. Now, this is where let's quickly have a look. What are the different social media platforms and what is their usability? So we'll start with the world's largest social media platform, that is Facebook, and they have 2.853 billion users, and it is an ideal platforms to build brand loyalty and also awareness about your brand. The second is YouTube, which is very close to Facebook, and they have 2.291 billion users, and it is a great platform for building brand awareness and also to create how to or educational or how to use the product, those kinds of videos. The third is Instagram, which has 1.38 6 billion users, and it is a great platform for building relationships, conversations, and brand loyalty. Then we have LinkedIn, which has 756 million users, and it is good for professional networking, B2B, and business development. And then we have Twitter, which has 397 million users, and it is a great platform for public relation and reputation management. Now let's understand how you can integrate your social profiles with your e-commerce platform. It is very simple. As the first step, you have to log into the seller panel. And once you have logged in, you have to click on online store in the left navigation. And then you have to click on social media. And this is where you have to just simply copy paste your URL. That's it. So for example, you want to integrate your Facebook page with your online store. So you have to just copy paste your URL. That's it. In addition, if you want to also integrate your WhatsApp number so that customers can directly interact and chat with you, so you can add your contact number. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that it should also have the country code. So this is how you'll be able to easily integrate your social media pages with your online store. So we have understood how easily you can integrate your social media pages with your online store. It is as simple as just copy pasting the URL onto the e-store seller panel. Now that was one of the way of integrating the social media icon. There is one more option that is available, that is to add floating social media icons, so they always remain on the top, and a customer or a person who's visiting your online store, they can quickly have a look at your social media icons, and they'll be able to connect with you very easily. And that's where adding a floating social media icons becomes important. And this is where I'll be sharing with you a tutorial video, which is very simple and short, and using which you'll be able to understand how you'll be able to add social media floating icon onto your online store. So on your screen, you're seeing an example. This is how it will appear on your e-commerce store. So moving on to the first step.
In this video, let us learn about how to set up Google Tag Manager on your store. Whether you're adding Google AdWords or analytics tracking code or want to run third-party scripts on your store, you no longer need to manually add the code to the site yourself. With Google Tag Manager's tag management system, you can add and efficiently manage all your code snippets in one central location. These code snippets are referred to as tags. Setting up your Google Tag Manager account has to be done in 3 parts. Create your Google Tag Manager account. Set up Google Tag Manager on Linker.store. Adding a tags through Google Tag Manager. Creating your Google Tag Manager account. Step 1. To create your GTM account. On the top of the page you will see a tab that says Create Account. You can sign up with your existing Gmail account. Find the URL in the description box below tagmanager.google.com. Step 2. In this next step, you will now need to add your details such as company name and your country. Step 3. Below Account Setup, you will see a box that says Container Setup. Here you will need to add your website URL, and under Target Platform select Web and click on Create. Step 4. Now you will be able to see your GTM dashboard under Workspace, and on the top panel you will see a code in blue color. That is your Google Tag Manager ID. You need to copy this ID. Setting up Google Tag Manager to your Linker.store. Step 5. Head back to your Linker.store. Click on Online Store from the drop-down, select Settings and click on Analytics. Here you will see an empty field for GTM ID. Paste your GTM ID copied earlier here. How to add a new tag. Step 6. Create a new tag in the Google Tag Manager dashboard. Within your Google Tag Manager dashboard, click the Add a New Tag button. Step 7. Title your tag, and then click anywhere in the top tag configuration box. to choose a tag type as custom HTML. Step 8. Now you need to link the tag for your given purpose. Select Custom HTML. Paste the code snippet copied from service provider. Here we are using sample code. Step 9. Now you need to choose a trigger to determine when the tag is recorded. This can vary depending on your purposes. To get insights every time someone views any of your web pages, select all pages. Once you're happy with the information in the tag configuration and triggering boxes, click the blue Save button. Now to activate your tag, you must click on the blue Submit button. Note, your tag won't work until you do so. When you click Submit, you'll be taken to this submission configuration page. Here you will see two options, Publish and Create Version or Create Version. You need to click on the Publish button. Now a new window opens up. Container version description. Here add a name and description to understand what you're trying to record with this tag, and click on the Continue, and this is how you can add a tag in one go, rather than always creating a new one. Create your Google Tag Manager account and link it with your linker.store. Happy selling!
So that was the first step, that is creating the Google Tag Manager account. Now we'll move on to the next step, that is integrating the floating social media icons.
Setting up floating social media icons has to be done in two parts. Setting up Google Tag Manager on your store. Integrate Add this plugin. Once you have Google Tag Manager ID added to your store, follow these simple steps to integrate floating social media icons. Step 1. Open Add this in your browser and create your account. Step 2. Select Share Buttons option to configure your code. Step 3. Under Tool Type, select Floating and click on Continue. Step 4. You can now select your desired floating layout. We recommend using the Smart Sorting by Add this, and you can set the number of services. Now, click on Activate Tool. Step 5. Once this is all done, you need to click on Get the Code tab on the top right panel. Under the Get the Code tab, switch to the Code Only view. Select your website type, which is an HTML website, and copy the complete code by clicking on the Copy button on the right. Step 6. Now open your Google Tag Manager dashboard and click on Add a New Tag button. Step 7. You need to name this tag. Here we are naming it as floating_share. Click on the tag configuration box. Step 8. As the Choose Tag Type opens up, under the Custom section, and select Custom HTML. Now, you can add this plugin code copied earlier. Step 9. Click on the triggering box. Select all pages and click on Save. Now on the Google Tag Manager dashboard, click on Submit. As you click on the Submit button, a new window opens up. Click on Publish. On Container Version Description Overlay, click on the Continue. Congratulations, your social media icons are now successfully added on your online store. Happy selling!
So that's how easily you'll be able to add the floating social media icons onto your online store. Moving on to the next topic, and that's the most interesting one as well, and that is running ads on Facebook, Instagram, and Google. Now, before we proceed on to discuss how you can set up ads, and as you all know, it's a very extensive topic. So just explaining about the setting up process itself will require few hours of session. So this is where we'll be just touching upon or explaining to you the various resources which are available, which you can utilize, or how you can go about doing this activity. But before we go to that route, a very common question that gets frequently asked, that is, which platform is better? So this is where I would want to clarify that before you take that decision, there are certain factors that you should consider. First, you should evaluate and understand what is your customers buying journey, how they are making that decision, and based on that you can understand the way they are buying. You can create the right interventions, and there you can select the right platform, right? Second is where your customer is, so on which platform. So if your customer is in a young age group, let's say 18 to 24, 30, so that's where you'll find them more on social platform. Whereas if you are into a technical product or technology product, then you would know that it is more of a B2B product and where you'll find your customer. So that's where you have to take the second decision, which is where your customer is, and then the third decision, how your customer wants to engage with your business, and that's where you should be right in front of them. So that's where taking or thinking like your customer, that if you were customer, how would you want to engage, and where you should find the right advertisement to convey the right message. So that's where these are the three decisions that you have to consider while you're choosing the right platform for doing marketing for your business. Now, let's understand the first question, how to run ads on Facebook and Instagram. And for this, I'll just quickly change my screen. So I'll just quickly switch my screen, and I'll take you to one of the Facebook's page. And this is facebook.com/business/ads. And this is where you can go. And it's a guided flow which you can follow, and then you'll be able to set up your ads. However, before you do that, there are certain things that are listed here, and which will help you understand or further refine your marketing strategy, or how would you want to uh, uh, go forward with your digital marketing campaign. So first is choosing your objective. What is your objective? So that's the first step that you have to take here. And then the second is selecting your audience. So that's where you are defining the demographics, location, and other details of your customer. So you are basically defining your ideal customer. And then you are deciding on where to run your ads. So whether you would want to run them on Facebook, Instagram, both, or only on Instagram. So you have to define the audience, and then you have to define your budget. What is your daily budget, or what is your ad spend budget that you have to define? Then you have to pick up a format for running the ads. So different types of ads can be done. So single image ads, or single video ads, or a carousel ads, or a offer ads. So depending on your business requirement, again, you can set them up, and then place your order, and then measure and manage your ads using the Facebook advertising manager. So that's how you'll be able to set up these ads, and we'll try to share the links of this page in the recording of this webinar, so that you can go ahead and you can start setting up your ads using the ad manager. And to get started, all you need is a Facebook account. That's it. You can just click on create ads, and you can right away get started with creating your ads and running them on Facebook and Instagram, right? So that was about how you'll be able to run ads on Facebook and Instagram. Now, the second largest, or the largest advertising platform, that is Google. How you'll be able to do that? So again, I'm switching the screen and taking you to the live browser. So this is the Google's or Google Ads browser, and this is where again you can come and you can get started. And in the similar fashion, what we have what we saw on Facebook, where you can go step by step taking certain decisions, and you can get started. So similarly here, you'll also see how you can create your ads. So you can first define what is your goal. You can get started with it, and then you can decide the locality or location of the advertisement. So whether it will be local or global, then you can create your message as per your requirement, and then you can set up your budget, and finally you can go live and you can start advertising. However, before you do that, there is a lot of reference material which is available, and I'll strongly recommend that you once go through that before implementing. It won't take a lot of your time. So if you are interested in reading, then you can review these guides. So these guides are readily available, which you can review. So basics, and then there are mobile optimization guides and how you can optimize your search campaigns and what are the best practices. So all that is available. In addition to this, if you're not interested in reading, you're interested in reviewing videos, in that case there is an entire playlist which is available, which is a 6 video playlist which you can review, and you'll be guided about each and every aspects of setting up ads on Google. So you can review these resources and you'll be able to start setting up ads on Google using this information. And again, to initiate your ads, all you need is a Gmail account and you can get started. Similarly, as we saw in the case of Facebook, you can get started with a simple Facebook account. Similarly here, all you need is a Gmail email account. So if you have that, you can just click on get started and you can get started. But before you do that, you should review the content, and I don't believe there's any merit in reinventing the wheel. So the content is available. It is also available in form of tutorial videos, so you can review them. And we will also try to have a dedicated session around this in future, so that if any of the member has a query, question related specific to Facebook ad or Google ads, so those can be answered, and we'll also try to bring in a industry expert who can answer your question. So that was very briefly about how you can run Facebook and Instagram and Google ads. Moving on to the next topic, that is discount coupons and scheme. And again, you might be wondering why discount coupons and scheme. They are a sales promotion tool, and how did they find their way into this discussion, which is around digital marketing. Now, discount coupons as such has been a promotional tool and has been a tool to attract customers to the business for a very long time, even before the advent of internet, or even before the advent of online selling. They existed in the physical space, and they existed as physical discount coupons which were shared with the customer, and they are still relevant and they are still very powerful. So they are a time tested tool that you can use. They are very easy to set up, so you can set them up in literally matter of minutes. They're very easy to use, and because customers had been using them for a long time, so there is no education required. So the moment you share a discount coupon, and if your brand and if your product is relevant for them, for sure you'll get a conversion there. And they act like a great incentivization medium. Now, the second item that you're seeing here, which is called promotional schemes, or schemes in short. So they are a autonomous tool, very similar to the discount coupon. The difference is promotional schemes works autonomously. They are very flexible, can be set up even for a very short duration of time, and you can also create incremental slabs for giving different slabs to your customers. So how you can do that, let's quickly discuss. So we'll first start with how you can create a discount coupon on your online store. So that's where I'll again switch my screen and I'll take you directly to the seller panel. Now, let me also share with you how you'll be able to navigate to the discount coupon section. So after opening your seller panel, what you have to do is you have to click on online store, and then you have to click on discount coupon, and then the discount coupon section will open up. To create a new discount coupon, you have to click on new coupon, and then overlay will open up. Here, the very first thing that you have to add is a coupon code. And whenever you are creating a coupon code, you have to remember that principle to keep it short and simple. So it will be easy for your customers to understand and interpret, and also to remember. There may be scenario that they might not have that information, and they would just want to remember that. And it also create interesting coupon codes, also create a lot of brand recall and association. So you can create that. However, if you have to create a coupon code in Jiffy, we also have an option. You can generate that from the platform itself. So that's about creating coupon code, and then you have to select the validity start and end time. So when should it start and when should it end? So it can be created for a longer period of time, or you can have a coupon code that is valid for many years. So it is not required that it should end within the month. You can use a duration as per your business requirement. After that is discount type. So you can select whether you want to give a percentage discount on the order value, or you want to give a value discount, that is 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 500 rupees, based on your business requirement, or you would want to do a freebie. So that's where you're offering a product entirely FOC. So you can also choose that. After that, you have to just select whether it is a free shipping, or you have to specify, would you also want to offer free shipping in addition to the discount which you are already offering to the customer. So you can turn it on or off, or you can just leave it off. After that, you can specify the minimum cart value, that is minimum how much customer should buy to be eligible to get this discount. So for example, you want the customer to place at least a 1,000 rupees order. So in that case, you can specify it here. After that, you'll see advance and a payment method. So at the moment on this demonstration store, we just have cash on delivery activated. So that's why you are seeing it here on your store when you have digital payment as well as cash on delivery active. So you can select a suitable method. Then if you click on advanced, you'll see number of users and per user count. So number of users is simply how many people will be able to create this discount coupon, and per user count is how many times one person will be able to use the discount coupon. Now, after that, we have a section where you can specify the category. So at the moment, as we haven't done any specification, so this coupon code can be used to purchase anything from the website. Now, if I want to specify that customer will have to buy from a particular category, then only they will get the discount. So for example, I want them to buy from sports shoes, only then they'll get the discount, and the products that are from the sports shoes category, only on their value they'll get the discount. So I can specify that. So we have that flexibility. If you want to go one step further and you want to specify the product, that if you're buying this product, only then you'll get the discount, so you can also do that. So again, same principle, you have to just specify the product name here. Sorry. Yeah. So like this, it will start appearing, and you can specify that. The final is tag, wherein you can create a cluster of product or a collection of products and tag them, and then the same tag can be applied here. So that's how you'll be able to create a discount coupon. Let me just add a value there. And click on save, and this is how you'll be able to create a discount coupon. Now the coupon is created. The next activity that you have to do is to use this coupon code and select it and circulate it with your existing and prospective customers. So that's where the platforms that I shared, for example, Canva is one such platform that you can utilize, and you'll be able to create wonderful and stunning looking post using that platform, and you can share this information with your customer. I'll just quickly open that screen and quickly show to you what you can do that. So this is a free profile that I have on Canva, and this is where you can see they have a number of templates. So for example, I just want to do a Facebook post. So I've just click on Facebook post, and this is where you can see how many templates they have, and a few of them are paid and few of them are free. So again, based on your requirement. Now, for example, if you are into Western wear, so this is a ready-made post that you can utilize. So you can choose a post as per your requirement, and then make necessary changes to it, and use the coupon code and post it on the social media platform, promote it via paid ads, etc., and get the customers to come onto your site and start giving you orders, right? So that was about creating the discount coupons. Now moving on to the modern day version of discount coupons, the autonomous promotional scheme. And to explain how these can be created, I'll again quickly move or switch my screen, and I will again go back to the seller panel, and then I'll start our journey from the dashboard itself, so that you can also relate. Now, to create or set up a promotional scheme, you'll have to click on online store, and then you have to click on schemes, and then the promotional scheme section will open up. Here, to create a new scheme, you have to click on scheme, and then an overlay will open up. Now you'll find a lot of things that you're seeing on the screen very similar to what you have understood in your while we were discussing about creating a discount coupon. Now here, as we start from the top of the screen, the first element that you're seeing is scheme type. So whether this scheme is applicable across the store, by category, by product, by brand, or by brand category. So all that flexibility is available. Then target audience, whether it is B2C, B2B, or both. So for B2B, some of you might be wondering how B2B using an e-commerce website. So we have a very we have a dedicated capability that allows Linker.store members to also manage their B2B online sales using their e-commerce platform, and offer exclusive benefits to their bulk trade partners. So that capability is available, and using the scheme, you can also create offers which can only be utilized by your B2B audience, not by your retail customers. After that is validity, which looks very similar to what we saw during the discount coupon creation. However, there is little difference. Here you can also select the time. Now, what difference does that make? You might be wondering. Now, if you look at selecting time, gives you that flexibility. You can also have what is popularly called as flash sale. So you can even have sale for few hours or even few minutes. You can even have like 10 minutes, 20-minute flash sale if you want. So all that flexibility is available, which makes it more dynamic. So you can even start, not only select the start and end date, you can also select start and end time. Then you can select the offer type, whether it is a discount percentage, discount amount, or a free product. However, here you also have a criteria that you can choose, that whether it is a quantity, so quantity means how many units the customer is buying, or amount, that is the value the customer is buying, the order value. Now, the biggest advantage is down here below. Now, for example, I want to create a promotional scheme wherein I want my customers who are placing orders, and I want to give them a different discount based on the order value. Now, that can't be done using a discount coupon, but it can be done here. And I've just put in few numbers for illustration. So this here you can see order values from 1 to 1000 will get 5% off. Order values from 1001 to 2000 will get 7% off, and anything that is above 2000, so I can select onwards, and they will get 10% off. So I'm just adding hypothetical values, but likewise you can create multiple slabs and offer incremental discount. So the customer who's ordering more will get more discounts. So likewise you can create order value slabs, or you can create quantity slabs, and then offer incremental slabs or incremental discount to your customer. Again, you can set up the scheme, and similarly you can promote it on your social platforms, and similarly you can utilize Canva and other marketing tools that I've shown to you to create stunning looking social media posts and advertisements, and then share them with your customers and bring them onto the site and offer these promotions and discounts to them. So that was how you can create a promotional scheme. Moving on. to the next topic, and that is the basic SEO practices to follow. Now, search engine optimization, the moment you see this term, it sounds very complicated, and this is an area where also you'll see a lot of businesses get stuck because this sounds complicated. They go to an agency and then they don't get results because again, this is something that requires time and it grows with the time, and search engines by the time, or they are getting more smarter by the day, so you have to keep constantly working on that. And that's where, despite spending a significant money, a lot of businesses are not able to reap the desired results. So that's where here we are sharing with you basic strategies or some basic practices that you can follow to help your business grow. And what you can do yourself is what I'll be sharing with you. But before we do that, let's first demystify what SEO is. So when you use a search engine to find out more about a product, brand, or store, you are shown a list of web pages. Higher the position of the web pages, the more relevant or optimized it is to your topic. Therefore, SEO in very simple terms is nothing but optimizing your e-commerce store or e-commerce website such that it ranks higher on the search engines, right? Now, if you have to do that, how you'll be able to do that? So the very first step is finding the right keywords that you would want to put onto your website and on different pages. So there are two tools which are available which you can utilize. The first one is Google Keyword Planner, and Google being the largest platform or the largest search provider, their tool you can imagine is more relevant and more refined, so you can utilize that. There are a number of other tools which are also available that you can utilize these days other than Google's Keyword Planner. So you can Google and you can also see a number of tools have come up these days which you can utilize. But Google Keyword Planner still remains very relevant. Now the question that might be coming to your mind is what will we do with Google Keyword Planner? What do we intend to find out of it? So, for example, you are a shoes manufacturer based out of Agra, and you have an e-commerce website. Now you want to optimize it. Now, using Google's Keyword Planner, you'll be able to understand what kind of searches or what kind of words or phrases are being used by people when they are searching for buying shoes online. So I'm just sharing one phrase, but anything that is associated with shoes, you'll be able to find out what people are actually looking out. And that's where what you can do is you can do a lot of things, not just adding keywords to your product pages or your website. What you can do is you can intelligently use those keywords, the commonly searched keywords, into the product name, into the product description. So that will not only give you more search value, but it will also make your website more relevant to the end customer, because that's how you'll know what the customer is saying, or what are the terms or words that the customer is using. You may have very fancy and very technical words that you would want to put on your site, but your customer might not even be searching by those words, and that's where you may not find the desired results. So that's where it is important to understand what your customer is doing and then realign everything with that so that you get more benefits and results out of it. The second platform that I've showcased here is Ubersuggest. You can also use this platform, and this is where you'll find a lot of happening topics and items on which, or topics on which there's a lot of discussion or posts are being done. So that's where you can use that platform to optimize or include the relevant information onto your website and also in your Facebook and Instagram social media posts and ads as well. Now, when it comes to keyword optimization, where all we have to do the keyword optimization, so this is where I've included the entire laundry list, but on the Linka.store e-commerce platform, you don't have to do at all these places. So I'll explain where all you have to do, but I have included the entire extensive list here. So this is where you the keyword optimization can be done on the page title, header, subheader, paragraph copy, product description, as I explained, image file names, image alt tags, meta title and description, and URLs, right? Now, when it comes to search engine optimization, what are the action items that are for you? In the previous slide, we discussed why it is important and what are the tools that you can utilize. But what are the action items? I want to do that. Where should I go? So that's where I'll just quickly explain what are the 5 action items that you should look at. So the first is product description, and this is the most important piece of information on your website, and that in most cases gets ignored. So that's where many people will just copy paste the content from here and there, or they'll just write a few lines about that. They don't get into the detail. So that's where it is the most important piece of information, the most important piece of content on the website, and which is directly affecting a customer's buying decision. Still, a lot of effort is not put in creating the right product description. After that is meta title, then meta description, then meta keyword, and image alt tags. So how these can be created, we'll just discuss them shortly. But before we go that route, first let's quickly discuss about product description, which is extremely important and also the most neglected section. So a product description is simply the marketing copy that explains everything about the product. It is the most important aspects of selling online. A bad product description can shadow a customer's mind, and even if the product is great, it won't convince the customer enough to give it a try. So that's why it is extremely important. And if a customer is not able to understand or if they are not able to relate about the product that you are showcasing, so that's where it can adversely affect the customer's buying decision. Now, how can you write, or how to write a good product description? The first and the most important point is understand your customers' want. And this is where you have to understand, or you have to think like a customer. And that's where an example that I would want to share with you is the of this particular brand, which is Kosh. And here you can see they have used a single line description. So a lot of people get that feeling that the more is better. Obviously, the more is better, not in terms of quantity, but in terms of quality. A just single line description, but it is clearly defining or explaining what this product is all about. So it can be one liner or it can be multiple liner followed by bullet points, etc. But that should clearly define what your product is. So, and the second is what you're seeing on your screen is now how the information or the product details are defined. So in addition to the single line description about the product, all the features, specification, and maintenance detail, they are also included and explained. So that's where the entire product description explain about the product, what are the benefits, what is the specification, how the product needs to be maintained. All that information is available, and the customer can review it, and they'll be able to make the buying decision very easily. And certain points that you have to consider while doing this activity is that which category of audience are you marketing your products to? So what would they mean? So when it comes to understanding your customer, so what would it would mean? And that's where understanding who's your customer or what is their category will make a difference. what would the customer like to see in your product description. So that's where you have to think like a customer, and that's where sometimes people go overboard and they add too much information. And again, adding too much information, again, in quantity will not make a difference. So you're filling up the entire page with the information will not make much of a difference. But adding the quality of information, so the information that is relevant for your customer and will affect their buying decision, that's important. What are the features that would interest them? So again, relating back to the earlier point, that now understanding, when you are thinking and understanding with from your customer's perspective, it will also become important to showcase the features or benefits or anything that will help them take that buying decision. So this is where customer is needing your help, and you have to help them out in terms of how this product will help them, or how are the benefits going to help them in meeting the requirement for which they are thinking of buying this product. Second is highlighting the product benefits, and that's where again a lot of time people go wrong, is that they add too much technical details or too much details about the features, etc. And instead of highlighting the benefits or the value add the customer is getting, and at the end of the day the customer is buying the product for the value add, not uh, for anything else, the value add or the benefit that they will be getting out of their buying decision. And this is where you can see on your screen a example from Fuchsia, and that's where they have very clearly explained the benefits that the customer will be getting out of the product. And the third point that you have to keep in mind, and which is also related with the above two, that customer loves detail, and the more detail that you'll be adding to the product, it will be better. But again, it should be something that is understandable by the customer. So nothing very jargonistic or very technical that just goes above their head and they are not able to make out. Specifying in terms of benefits, etc., or details, and then